And now, since I pretty much killed all of his army, he's pretty much undefended over there. Also notice that I'm building some bunkers over there for some basic defense. This way lurkers or even lynx will have a hard time on getting that expansion down, so it works well in all ways. Also, I'm trying to bring 2 tanks, so it's just a little bit extra of defense and so on, but this time he had an army on the way, so it didn't make such a difference. Also notice how I'm waiting just a moment so I can steam pack these marines and move them then to the bunkers, so that when he comes up the ramp, those bunkers are going to shoot at just a little bit faster. It didn't make much of a difference though. Right now I know that he only has that 1 expansion, so if I can get that expansion down well and so on, I'm gonna have an easy time on like taking him down overall. Since if he only has 1 expansion and I can take that down and have more expansion than him, then there's not much he can do really. Except if he has like code like a Defiler micro, which I'm not sure if he has or not, but either way it's still important. Over here, now that I have like decent upgrades and so on, a few sunken colonies won't do a single thing. Also notice since he's bringing defilers over here, so it's very important to irradiate them as quickly as simply possible. It's very important that you do not allow your opponent to actually like bring defiler dark swarm straight to your natural. If you let him like mass dark swarm your natural and so on, I don't know what you can do anymore. It's pretty much over the game. I mean, over here I was a bit careless. I lost a big part of my army on just not noticing that he had a like dark swarm over there. Same with this one over here. I could have possibly irradiated the defiler, which made the dark swarm, but it just didn't work this time. Notice how I'm making fire bats. Fire bats are pretty much the only Terran unit that does decent damage under the for units under the dark swarm. So that's my method of trying to fend him off over here. I know that I have one more expansion. Well, not one more expansion. We have as many expansions, so I have the advantage over here. But either way, it's still important that that I'm able to defend over here. If I can defend over here well without losing too much SCVs or too much army and so on, then I've probably won the game. Especially if I'm able to get my 2nd expansion as well. It's very important for a Terran to keep making new expansions. It's not quite as important as in PvZ and for Zerg and PvT and so on, but it's still important that you keep having constant production. And also it's very important that you just don't rely everything on one single expansion. It's very common for a Terran to lose like his base or something, so if that happens, it's important that you have one more base, so you can always keep the constant unit production up. If you don't have that one more extra base, then what if you lose at 1 expansion? Then he might suddenly win the game even though you had a massive lead or something. So it's important really. Also notice how I made a dropship, since I'm planning on like dropping his main, getting some tech, maybe some drones and so on. Over here I'm bringing some science vessels to my expansion, so that I'm able to drive off the dark swarm attempts over there. Also notice how I'm sending an SCV to a new expansion spot, especially because he just had attacked me, and also because I'm gonna need a new expansion soon anyway. Now I'm irradiating this defiler over here, making sure that my marines and bunkers are not under the dark swarm, so that I won't lose much to anything. I'm also remaking a new bunker so that I'm able to keep up these defenses, but now that he has dark swarm, it's going to be all the harder to keep up with this defense and so on. So it's important that I start the offense as soon as possible, so I'm able to have map control and keep that expansion through the map control. So I'm planning on moving out and looking to take down that expansion down there as well. So if he lets his expansion die down there while taking my expansion down, I might have the lead. So that's why the Zergs usually prefer on just defending their own expansion instead of always just attacking your expansion, even if it was an easy target, since if he attacked your expansion too aggressively, then what happens to their own expansion if I just decide to turn back and so on. Now that I have a lot of vessels and so on, it's important to irradiate just about everything. You just gotta be irradiating everything once again. Everything. The defilers are first priority, since Dark Swarm and Plague can really do a massive damage, and the lurkers are second, and possibly ultras, but you just gotta consider twice before using ultras that much. And remember to keep all your unit production up, like I've said already many times. It's very important. And I was a bit careless with it occasionally, since I had a lot of micro, but I didn't have it too bad, at least. Also remember to keep up the pressure and be careful with your vessels so you don't lose them too much over to some scourges or something. If you're careless, it really might make a difference. Like this, I lost quite a few over there. But now I noticed that his one expansion doesn't really have any defense, so I just attack over there to take advantage of the situation. Keep making new units and so on. Now you gotta be careful over here, since he might get some lurkers to defend over there like pretty much instantly, but thankfully, since I have so many vessels, I can just irradiate every single one of them, and I'm gonna be no problem. I gotta be quick though, so that he's not able to gather up his army once more over there. And also notice I'm using scans to figure out where he has his units. Now I notice that he's attacking my expansion, but I still decided to attack over here, just so that he won't get my expansion and my army later on and defend his expansion. But one good method is with Terran, that you just keep scanning all around the map, all kind of expansions along with the center of the map and so on, so you're able to figure out what's coming for you later on. It's really important actually that you just you know everything what's coming, so that way you can prepare much better. He added Dark Swarm. I kind of added a factory over there, since I plan on making mass tanks to defend that base, but it just didn't work out too well. Now, since he's defending his expansion and he's also attacking my one base, he probably won't be able to attack the corner expo, so it's pretty safe for now, as long as I keep up the pressure and as long as I send some units over there to help later on. Now I'm able to drop his main like this. It's pretty effective really, and I'm also able to take it down his only and single expansion. So if I can just survive with this well and so on, then I'm gonna have it well off and so on. So this is not a bad situation for me at all. Okay, it's GG.